Welcome to Xian Voice. Continuing from the previous episode. Creak. A tightly shut door was gently pushed open and Xiao Yan slowly walked out. After which, he raised his eyes and looked around. There was a garden outside of the room that was filled with many beautiful flowers. A gentle breeze blew over as a faint flower fragrance drifted over the entire garden. It gave one's heart a tranquil feeling. Have you woken up? A clear, lovely voice suddenly sounded while Xiao Yan's eyes were sweeping around. He looked over, only to see a red-clothed lady sitting within the garden. She had a long upper body. Looking at her from the side, her body appeared to reveal an alluring figure that extended from her neck to her hip. Xiao Yan had seen this lady before and knew she possessed a high status within the Burning Flame Valley. Immediately, he smiled and nodded to her. The red-clothed lady stood up. Her tall figure was beautifully accentuated before she swiftly walked to Xiao Yan. After which, she revealed a bright smile. My name is Tang Huo. Thank you very much for your help this time around. As the both of them were standing close to each other, Xiao Yan was able to sniff the faint, serene fragrance that was being emitted from the body of the lady in front of him. He raised his eyes and was coincidentally able to see some redness within Tang Huo's pretty face. Xiao Yan had run into quite a number of beauties during these years. This Tang Huo's appearance might not be comparable to the bewitching looks of Kai Lin, but she possessed a demeanor that belonged only to her. She appeared graceful and valiant, possessing an alternative charm. Xiao Yan observed Tang Huo as he revealed a smile on his face. He cupped his hands together and said, "Greetings to Miss Tang. Don't call me whatever, Miss Tang. If you do not mind, you can just call me Huo. You can be considered my savior, hence, there is no need for you to be so distant." Tang Huo waved her hand and quickly replied after Xiao Yan formally addressed her. This Tang Huo, who did not possess the haughtiness of a young lady of the Burning Flame Valley, gave Xiao Yan quite a good impression. He immediately nodded with a smile. He was aware that Tang Zhen had wanted to refine the fire bodhisattva pill for this lady in front of him. However, it was not his place to ask too much about the use of that medicinal pill. This was, after all, someone else's private affair. You have been unconscious for 5 days. Father has told me to bring you to him once you have awoken. I think that you are intending to look for him now, right? Tang Huo's bright pretty eyes swept over Xiao Yan while she laughed in a lovely manner. In that case, I will trouble Miss Huo. Xiao Yan smiled as he responded. Follow me, but I wish to also ask you, why are you so interested in the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame of my Burning Flame Valley? Tang Huo had just turned around when she suddenly remembered something. After which, she asked somewhat curious about why he wanted it. Xiao Yan was startled when he heard this. He hesitated for a moment before saying, I can only say that the Skyfire 3 mysterious change is extremely suitable for me to practice. Tang Huo was somewhat surprised by Xiao Yan's reply. She raised her eyebrows and said, there is actually such a thing. But my father has already said that one requires a great talent to practice the Skyfire 3 mysterious change. Her words caused Xiao Yan to become dull, especially after he sensed the somewhat fiery eyes of Tang Huo. He involuntarily and bitterly laughed. This woman appeared to be even more competitive than some men. Tang Huo covered her mouth and laughed when she saw Xiao Yan become a little embarrassed. She turned her body and led the way in front. She talked to him as she walked. No matter what you think, I will naturally not be able to say much now that Father has promised you. However, I shall remind you that it is not an easy matter to obtain the Skyfire 3 mysterious change. Even if Father has given you a chance, it will be extremely difficult for you to obtain the Skyfire 3 mysterious change if you do not possess some ability. Xiao Yan quietly tilted his head in acknowledgement. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change was a carefully guarded secret technique of the Burning Flame Valley. It would be unusually difficult for him to obtain it. Nevertheless, he had already come to this place. Why would he end up giving it up? Xiao Yan followed Tang Huo out of the courtyard and walked through the interior of the valley. They met quite a number of Burning Flame Valley's disciples. These disciples hurriedly bowed and said greetings the moment they saw Tang Huo. She not only possessed a special status within the Burning Flame Valley, she also possessed outstanding training talent, enough to get the admiration of everyone within the valley. Xiao Yan, who was beside Tang Huo, also attracted quite a great amount of attention as a result. The disciples within the Burning Flame Valley were familiar with this young alchemist Grand Master, who had aided the valley chief in refining a pill. During these couple of days that Xiao Yan had been unconscious, talk about him had become hottest topic among the many disciples within the Burning Flame Valley. Xiao Yan followed Tang Huo for over 10 minutes in front of the many eyes. Only then did they stop outside a large hall with a magnificent aura. The Skyfire 3 mysterious change is the top secret technique of the Burning Flame Valley. According to the rules of the valley, it cannot be taught to an outsider. Although Father is the valley chief, he alone cannot make the decision over such matters. After all, the interior of the Burning Flame Valley still has an Elders' Council. Those pedantic old fellows are not so easy to deal with. Tang Huo softly explained after stopping outside of the large hall. Xiao Yan slightly nodded upon hearing this. It seemed that this attempt would not be a simple one. However, you can rest assured that Father will definitely put in a word for you since he promised you. He is the valley chief. Even the Elders' Council cannot easily refute his words. Tang Huo quickly added, appearing afraid that Xiao Yan would have other thoughts. Xiao Yan smiled and nodded. He replied, with Valley Chief Tang's status and position, it is naturally impossible for him to deceive an unknown little person like me. An unknown little person does not possess the ability to refine a Tier 7 medicinal pill. Tang Huo rolled her eyes at Xiao Yan. After which, she maintained a somewhat normal expression and waved her hand to him. After which, she turned around and walked into the large hall. Xiao Yan hurriedly followed behind her. Xiao Yan successfully entered the large hall with Tang Huo leading him. At this moment, the atmosphere within the large hall was somewhat pressurizing. There were quite a number of fully armed disciples of the Burning Flame Valley around the large hall, causing the atmosphere of the hall to become much more solemn. Xiao Yan's eyes swiftly swept through the hall after having entered it. Tang Zhen, who was bursting with life, was still in the leader's seat. However, there were two additional white-haired, red-robed elders flanking him. These two people wore faces as deep as water and possessed an aura of being mighty despite not revealing any anger. Moreover, the thing that shocked Xiao Yan the most was the majestic Do Qi that vaguely seeped out of the bodies of these two old fellows. Although they were far from the unfathomable level of Tang Zhen, it was likely that they were not much weaker either. Around 10 old fellows were seated below these two white-haired, old men. These elders possessed great strength. Elder Kai Huo, who had brought Xiao Yan to the Burning Flame Valley, was among them. Clearly, they were the elders of the Burning Flame Valley. Yan Xiao greets Valley Chief Tang. Xiao Yan's expression was unchanging in the face of the pressurizing atmosphere within the large hall and the many gazes focusing on him. He slowly stepped forward, cupped his hands to Tang Zhen on the leader's seat, and spoke with a deep voice. "KK, young friend Yan Xiao, what's your recovery like?" Tang Zhen's eyes swept over Xiao Yan. The smile on his face also increased as he inquired. "Valley Chief Tang, thank you for your concern. I'm fine." Xiao Yan grinned and replied. "You are that Yan Xiao who wants the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame of my Burning Flame Valley, right?" An indifferent, old voice suddenly sounded. Xiao Yan's eyes glanced over and saw that it belonged to a white-haired, old man seated beside Tang Zhen. Xiao Yan slowly nodded in the face of the old man's question. "The old me is the third elder of the Burning Flame Valley, Wu Chen. This time around, you have helped the Valley Chief refine the Fire Bodhisattva pill. The old me shall represent the Burning Flame Valley and thank you here." Wu Chen's expression was indifferent. These words had just sounded when he continued, "However, the Skyfire 3 mysterious flame is a secret that my Burning Flame Valley will not pass to an outsider according to the rules of the Burning Flame Valley. May I inquire if you will change your condition?" As expected, Xiao Yan coldly laughed in his heart. He knew that this matter would not proceed smoothly. "Third elder, the old me has promised young friend Xiao Yan. Are you trying to get me to eat my words by saying this now?" Tang Zhen's face sank as he questioned while sitting in the leader's seat. The third elder involuntarily became a little dull when he heard Tang Zhen's words before replying, although Valley Chief has promised him, according to the rules. The rules are dead while people are alive. The old me is the Valley Chief. Don't tell me that I do not even possess this bit of authority? Tang Zhen faintly spoke. "Valley Chief, please do not be angered. Third elder is only saying such words because of the rules of the valley. After all, the Skyfire 3 mysterious change is not an ordinary secret technique. It is likely that even the first elder would think twice about handing it to an outsider if he was here, no? An elder on the side, who had yet to speak, slowly opened his mouth. He suddenly glanced at Xiao Yan below when he spoke until this point and continued. Moreover, this young friend, who is called Yan Xiao, has ultimately not revealed his true face. Don't tell me that the Valley Chief wishes to hand the Skyfire 3 mysterious change to a person whose background is unknown? Tang Zhen was also startled in the face of these words. He immediately frowned. With his eyesight he had naturally seen through Xiao Yan's attempt to purposefully hide his appearance. However, he did not expose Xiao Yan. Second elder has overestimated the young me. It is natural to have another layer of protection when roaming around. Hence, I have hid my appearance. Since second elder does not like it, I will remove it. Xiao Yan slightly smiled. His hand rubbed over his face, revealing his actual appearance. Everyone present, including Tang Zhen, was startled when they saw the even younger Xiao Yan after he had recovered his original appearance. That second elder stared intently at Xiao Yan. His eyes narrowed. A moment later he suddenly and faintly said, "Earlier, the old me coincidentally made a trip to the northern region of the Central Plains." Xiao Yan slightly knit his brows when he heard these words. Recently, the greatest commotion in the northern region is related to the grudge between an unknown, young man and the Wind Lightning Pavilion. Moreover, this young man had charged to Lightning Mountain alone, defeated Feng Qing from the Wind Lightning Pavilion and left. Second elder ignored Xiao Yan's expression as he continued to speak as he pleased. There was an unusual flicker in the pretty eyes of Tang Huo by the side. She had also heard a little of this matter. That young man is called Xiao Yan. Second elder spoke with a soft laugh. Immediately, he looked at Xiao Yan with deeper meaning in his eyes. He continued, "The old me is thinking that Xiao Yan and Yan Xiao should be one and the same, right?"